Hey everybody, welcome back for another sweet day at Hope Kids Online. My name's Nick, and I'm just bursting with excitement for today. I'm not playing Twix on you, we're all going to have a jolly good time. If you can't tell, I have candy on my mind, and I love every different kind of candy for different reasons. Some are fruity, some are chocolatey, and some are crispy crunchy, but they're all delicious. In fact, life would be pretty boring if all candy and all people in the world were exactly the same. I'm so glad that God made us with individuality. And what's individuality? Well, individuality is discovering who you're meant to be so you can make a difference. There's only one you, and you're created in God's image. God made each of us with our own special individuality so we can show the world who He is in our own special way. Speaking of showing the world who God is, let's watch this video and see how we can live out individuality for everybody to see.
What's your favorite kind of cookie to make? I'm a big fan of gingerbread. I love turning out the exact same shape over and over and over and over. You don't even have to be an artist to make gingerbread cookies come out just right. But the best works of art don't come from a mold. They're unique, original, one of a kind. And the greatest work of all time is you. God made you to reflect a little bit of who He is to the world around you. But He made you to reflect Him in a way that's entirely different from your brother, your mom, your neighbor, or even that popular kid at school. God made only one you, and He made you on purpose. No one else in the entire world can fill that perfect spot He crafted just for you. And when you discover who God made you to be, you can make a greater difference in this world than you could ever imagine. That's why individuality is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
Today, we head to the book of Acts, which is the New Testament of our Bible. The book of Acts tells us what happened with Jesus' followers after Jesus went back to be with God. Jesus left His followers with a mission. He gave them an incredible task of carrying His message to the ends of the earth. Everybody would know about Jesus because of Jesus' followers. One of those followers was a man named Paul. Paul accepted an incredible task of carrying the message of Jesus all over the Roman Empire. Today, we'll look at the moment from one of Paul's travels where we meet a woman named Lydia. Lydia's story isn't one that you find or hear very often, but she gave us such a great example of how we can use our individuality to help others. So let's check out her story and more in today's true story from the Bible.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Acts, chapter 16, verses 13 through 15.
Lydia of Thyatira was a remarkable woman. Her city was known for its craftsmen, especially those who made and sold expensive purple dye.
Take a look. I use only the finest snail shells.
Though most successful people in business were men, Lydia learned the craft of purple dye. And when she traveled to the Roman city of Philippi, she set up a business selling rare, expensive purple cloth.
Please note, we have lilac, plum, iris, lavender, and grape fabric laid out. And over here you'll find amethyst, eggplant, and orchid.
Lydia had likely been raised to believe in many false gods, but in her heart, she knew there was something more.
The Jewish people believe in just one God. What if they're right?
The city of Philippi had laws against bringing any unknown religion into the city. But Lydia would meet outside the city gates on the riverbank with a group of women who believed in the one true God.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Love him with all your strength.
Lydia and the other women had never heard of Jesus. But as they began to seek God together, God sent a vision to someone else, the Apostle Paul, who was staying in the Greek city of Troas.
Dream. It was so vivid. I saw a man standing right here begging me. He said, "Come over to Macedonia. Help us."
Immediately, Paul and his friends set sail. Within a few days, they reached land and traveled to Philippi, one of the most important cities in Macedonia.
So we just start by finding a synagogue of Jewish believers, right?
I don't think there is a synagogue here.
On the Sabbath, a day of worship, Paul and his friends went down to the river, hoping to find a place of prayer.
Shall we gather at the river?
Excuse me.
Hi there. Do you wish to join us? We're praying to the one true God.
Absolutely.
There, by the river, Paul told the story of Jesus and how anyone who chose to follow Jesus could have a relationship with God that lasts forever.
But this is amazing. This changes everything.
The Lord opened Lydia's heart to believe every word of Paul's message.
I wish to be baptized. At once.
Not only was Lydia baptized, but she immediately shared the good news with her family and everyone who lived and worked in her home. And they too were baptized. Lydia gathered Paul and his friends.
Do you consider me a believer in the Lord? If you do, come and stay at my house.
We would be honored.
As a successful businesswoman, Lydia's house was likely large and beautiful.
We must meet here from now on.
Lydia did not hesitate to give everything she had to the believers in the brand new church. And when Paul and Silas were later thrown in prison and then released, they immediately returned to Lydia's home to rest and prepare before they left the city.
You must be brave.
Of course we will. Don't forget to write.
Later, Paul did write a letter to Lydia and others in the church of Philippi, and he remembered his time spent in Lydia's home and the church there with great joy.
I thank my God every time I remember you. In all my prayers for all of you, I always pray with joy. I'm happy because you have joined me in spreading the good news. God began a good work in you, and I am sure that he will carry it on until it is completed.
In everything she did, Lydia continued to use her gifts to help others.
Wow, wasn't that amazing to hear what happened when Lydia met Paul? I love the way God opened Lydia's heart to believe in Jesus. And it was cool how Lydia was quick to offer her home to Paul and his friends. It makes sense that Lydia would want to put others first just like that, though, because of how Jesus lived every single day. When Jesus was here on earth, he was consistently teaching people, healing people, and loving people. He was always helping others. And remember, that's something we can all do too. If I need help, I know I want my friends and the people around me to be willing to use their gifts to give me a hand. We all need each other. So we should want to use our gifts to help the people around us. That's a great way that we can treat others and the way that I want to be treated too. We can use our gifts to help others. If you feel like you don't know what your gifts are, don't worry. Just think of something that you're good at or something that you like to do. Think about the ways that you're kind and you're generous to your friends. God created each of us with individuality and gave us different ways to help other people. Speaking of how God created each of you, let's recap on our memory verse, Psalms 139:14. And it says, "How you made me is amazing and wonderful. I praise you for that. What you have done is wonderful. I know that very well." Psalms 139:14. Feel free to pause the video and practice it a couple times on your own. Everybody get on your feet and get ready to move. In everything we do and in all things we say, we can show God's love to the world. We can make a difference with the way that we live. Come on, let's have fun as we sing about that together. All right, you gifted, wonderfully made, loving, and helpful people. Remember, as we head into this week, that each of us has something that we're good at. Just like God used Lydia, God can use our skills and talents to help others and make a difference in the world around us. So go and make a difference in the world today. Have a great week.